going to be honest, y'all. My friend Irvin actually reminded me about this match last night. Volta is probably one of my favorite wrestlers, and by far, I practically just I love everything about him. He is definitely a amazing wrestler, and he is an in-ring general. As soon as I saw NXT UK for the first time, and I saw Volta, especially the NXT the UK NXT UK tournament when they had the belt established for the first time. That was like the first time I ever heard of Volta, and then I kept watching NXT UK. It's a hidden gem. If you guys haven't seen anything from NXT UK, I advise you, if you have Peacock, if it's on Peacock, it should be. If you have not watched NXT UK or any of the matches, I advise you to watch that show. It is amazing. There are so many amazing wrestlers in the indie circuit in the UK. It's just straight up, you really do need to watch it. It's definitely a hidden gem, and especially watch both matches. I think NXT Takeover 37, and that was like the final match that Volta had with Ilya Dragunov. The first one I do believe was the NXT UK tournament. I should be wrong about that, but I know that both of the matches are there under NXT UK. Definitely look it up and watch it. It's by far, they're both 5-star classics in my opinion. But anyway, I've gushed enough about Volta. As soon as I heard this, I'm just like, really, and you guys know what I'm talking about here. The fact that they're going to change Walter's name and have changed Walter's name, and this actually happened as this recording. This is the day after NXT 2.0 when Volta changed his name to Gunther. And I think I think this came from Sean Ross Sapp, who said that they filed a trademark, WWE filed a trademark for Gunther Stark. And I think it was PW Insider that broke the news saying that Gunther Stark used to be a World War II Nazi general. And the fact that Austria was probably one of the biggest Nazi territories in world history, I don't find that as a coincidence. And I know a lot of people are like, well, it's just a name change. It doesn't mean anything. Really, come on, guys. This is WWE here. This is Vince McMahon here. This is Bruce Pritchard here. They're kind of stuck in the 80s. They've always been stuck in the 80s. Any Middle Eastern foreigner was always going to be a bad guy. And it was the 80s. And I can understand historically why that was around that time. But when the Cold War ended, that should have ended too. And the fact that they actually trademarked this name, knowing the source of where it came from, is just absolutely ridiculous to me. Am I raging about it? No, but it's just dumb. And the fact that people are actually defending this is even more ridiculous. You would think that in the culture that we're in now, besides the fact that we're living in cancel culture and all that other stuff, we're also living in the culture of accountability. So we gotta kind of hold them accountable for their BS. Like, come on, guys. Come on, you can't tell me that this isn't a coincidence. But this can't be a coincidence, especially with the track record of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. I would not be surprised if Volta said it was his idea. A part of me hugely doubts it, but this whole thing in itself is absolutely ridiculous. And I listened to Just Alex's podcast as well as Wrestle Talk. And to be honest with you, I highly agree with one aspect of Just Alex. If you honestly think this isn't a coincidence, come on, you're just lying to yourself. And I kind of chuckled a bit when he was like, there has to be a line that Vince McMahon cannot cross. No. We all know about the infamous incest angle with Vince McMahon. That's been like everywhere and documented everywhere. And it was the most disgusting angle I've ever heard in my life, to where Stephanie McMahon had to put her foot down. This guy doesn't have a line that he wouldn't cross. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he got a chuckle out of that name. But all I can say is that even though now they're calling him Gunther, because I guess after finding out what Gunther Stark and who actually was Gunther Stark. They just took the Stark off and just said Gunther. I want to see whether or not Walter can do something with that name. I don't think he needed the name change. He was already cemented. He cemented his legacy in Europe. He doesn't need a name change. I understand not a lot of people in the States know about Walter, but a lot of people in Europe do. He's already cemented his legacy. He didn't really need to have the name change. I don't necessarily understand why they thought this was a good idea, because it wasn't, at least in my opinion. The only thing I can say is that Walter has to do something with this name, and they need to book him correctly. Book him in the best way possible to make this work. I mean, the fact that he was the leader of Imperium, the fact that he's the longest NXT UK champion in NXT history, and the fact that he is known and feared as the in-ring general, and put on 2 5-star classes at NXT, at least in my opinion. Did he really need it? Did he really need the name change? In my opinion, no, but I wouldn't put it past Vince, and he's probably somewhere chuckling about all this. But to be honest with you, the only thing I could say is that maybe, just maybe, Walter can turn shit into sugar and actually do something with this name. But guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below. What do you think about this name change? Do you think it's just a name, or do you think that it's probably some hidden meaning that behind all this? And to be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past Vince. He's stuck in the 80s. But I want to hear what you guys think about this. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.